Ethel Zimmerman was born in 1908 in Queens, but swore to her dying day it was 1912. Her family spent 7 hours in church every Sunday, but every Friday they'd hop the subway to the Palace Theater for the genius of Fanny Brice and Sophie Tucker. Starstruck Ethel sang in church choir, and word got around the girl could belt. At 17, she was a stenographer, moonlighting as a chanteuse. Zimmerman was too long for the marquise, so she tried typical Hollywood names like Ethel Gardner and Ethel Hunter. Finally, she just cut the Zim to please her father, and Ethel Merman was born. When she auditioned for the Gershwin brothers singing I Got Rhythm, she belted a high C for 16 full measures. They cast her on the spot. She hit Broadway in 1930, and critics raved. Back then, Broadway singers performed without mics, which was perfect for Ethel's broad, brassy tones. Hit after hit followed, but Anything Goes made this diva a living legend. The script went through massive revisions in rehearsal, and Ethel jumped in with her stenography skills, jotting down dialogue as the writers improvised. She then typed it all out herself. In 1936, Anything Goes went to Hollywood, starring Bing Crosby. Ethel's reviews were decent, but her look wasn't Hollywood cookie cutter, and her charisma just didn't translate on screen. So, back to Broadway she went, piling up more hit shows. In 1945, Annie Get Your Gun ran 1,100 performances. Irving Berlin said, "You can't write a bad lyric for Merman, because people will hear it all the way in the second balcony." Cole Porter dubbed her La Merman, saying her voice was like a band going by. "Hell, I just sing," she said. "I open my mouth and it happens. What can I tell ya?" Ethel was a great upstager. Her best trick was gradually progressing upstage till all the other actors had their backs to the audience. She also swore like a sailor. While rehearsing a TV show, the very proper Loretta Young asked Ethel to pay $1 every time she swore. By the third obscenity, Merman pulled out a bill and said, "Here's $10, Loretta. Now go bleep yourself." In 1959, she was brilliant as quintessential stage mother Mama Rose. Though she was the critics' darling, Ethel lost the Tony to Mary Martin in The Sound of Music. "Oh well," she shrugged, "how you gonna buck a nun?" Due to Hollywood nepotism, she lost the film Gypsy, which broke her heart. After that, she guested on TV shows like Ed Sullivan, Dean Martin, That Girl, and even Batman. Then producer David Merrick wrote a phenomenal role for her. Citing exhaustion, she passed. Hello, Dolly made Carol Channing a household name. 6 years later, Merman finally signed on as the 7th and final Dolly on Broadway. She had standing ovations every show. Critics were ecstatic. It was her last Broadway show. Ethel's sassy New York roots always showed. At a grand dinner party, she watched Wallace Simpson slow dance with a stranger. "Hey, Duke," she hollered across the table to the former King of England, "get off your royal ass and dance with your wife." And he did. In theater, she triumphed. In love, she bombed. In her autobiography, a chapter is devoted to her third and final husband, called My 3-Day Marriage to Ernest Borgnine. In classic Merman wit, it's a blank page. Ethel Merman was showbiz. This unforgettable diva will forever be one of Broadway's brightest lights.